Look for the blue Energy Star logo. Then use the yellow Energy Guide label to review energy use and operating costs. Just by switching from incandescent light bulbs to LEDs, you can save about $15 each year per bulb.
Now those are some smart tips.
That's what I'm getting to right now, a better life for myself and my kids.
That is the dream, a better life. The reality is that after prison, a whole lot of hurdles lay between a release date and the day you know you made it. And that is a big problem for all of us.
Hi, I'm Rick.
I'm Mary Beth. We're in Memphis, a city rich in history but plagued with poverty. One of the country's poorest zip codes is steps away from world-famous Beale Street, and you can find mansions just down the street from abandoned houses.
We take those throwaway houses and turn them into homes.
For people returning from prison in the hopes of building a better life. We know something about second chances. We met in a tiny East Tennessee town when we were 13, and I was crazy about it.
First time I saw Mary Beth, I knew that she was the girl for me. Problem was, I was shy.
Until 40 years later. And in between all that, we had kids, we had marriages.
I had prison, and now we want to help other people that have made mistakes. Some people flip houses.
We flip lives. Rick, come help me make the bed, okay?
Okay.
Because number one, I can't find that little tag.
You never can.
I can't.
It's
Where's
the little tag. It
Okay.
says which side of the
So,
bed.
I brought the pretty sheets this time.
Just to let you know, people,
So here's what I want to talk
when you're
to you
making your bed with a fitted sheet, it'll always tell you which side to put the sheet on. You find the tag. We're going to find that. Here's the tag. This tag goes down on that corner.
about. Really?
Yes.
I think you're making.
Little known facts of
Does
bed
it
sheets.
say that?
Yeah, I looked it up in the bed sheet encyclopedia. But it says, do not rip off or you'll go to jail. So don't do that.
But it could also equally, it would be just fine going up here.
No,
Why not?
because you will not sleep right on the bed.
So I know you're like doing a lot of stuff, but I think we should fix this place up because this gray is kind of depressing.
I agree.
You know what? It just occurs to me it's about the size of a cell.
Thanks for bringing back memories.
I'm just
That hurt
saying.
me.
I would like
I'll give you a boost.
right out the door. I would like something a little brighter. I want to paint these walls like a soft white. Would that take a lot?
I do too.
Why are you coming up?
It look fun.
Okay. I want to paint these. I want to paint this. I want to make like curtains for this instead of this. Because number one,
Don't tear it out.
I can't get them off. So I want a little like curtain rack. Could you put a curtain rack here?
Can you say that one more time?
What? What'd you say? What did I say?
Nothing.
Okay, so I'm thinking white. I think the cabinets, I don't think they can be painted.
Yeah, they got some paper on them.
Okay. And then I want to put something on the back wall, and I don't know what, like maybe wallpaper.
I'm thinking a mural. As the first thought was a mural. I was like, shit, let's do a mural.
You gonna paint that? No, I want something. I want
Okay.
like
Picture of an elephant.
why? Oh,
I like elephants.
well I don't. We're not gonna do an elephant.
Okay.
What about like I don't like a diamond pattern.
Oh, that sounds so exciting. God
I
almighty.
don't know.
How'd
But
I live
think-
50 years without you in my life? I don't know.
I don't either. Move your big feet. I'm gonna make this bed. I know what we could put on the back wall. We could put our 8th grade class picture.
No, I'm like 5'2" and a little booger. You're taller than me. I don't want to put
But
that
you're
up there.
cuter than I am.
Well, that's I
Okay.
can't help that.
So anyway, how long would it take you to get the curtain rods up, you think?
Well, it wouldn't take me long, but we've got more important matters.
Do we?
We've got to deal with the house to
You
redo.
sound
while
so
you're
corporate.
while you're out here daydreaming, we've got a whole house to rebuild. So let's put this on the back burner. I don't want to spend any money on it now because we don't know if we got any money to do the house. So let's worry about the house, and then when we get done with it, we'll come back to all your wonderful ideas, because I know that's what you want to hear, my beautiful, wonderful woman.
Especially the mural.
The mural that you want to do,
Of the elephant.
diamond pattern.
Of the
But,
elephant.
so let's worry more about the house.
Okay.
So our little home away from home will have to wait. This is the project we need to focus on for the next year. 1864 Driftwood Avenue in Fraser, the 5th poorest zip code in Tennessee.
Fraser in the late 60s, 70s had 3 of the top companies in the United States. I think it was Firestone was one, International Harvester, and another company. So a lot of the people that you saw here were working class, but they had good paying jobs. A lot of pride in the community.
So it's very family.
Very family oriented. A lot of the managers and employees both worked in this community.
But then the factories moved out.
It caused a level of blight. And then Fraser, unfortunately, has become one of the highest transit areas in Memphis, Tennessee, and it becomes an area of crime, an area of low jobs, and then we have the lowest 5% in the state of Tennessee as far as education qualifiers. So when you put low education, high crime, low jobs, unfortunately it becomes a breeding ground for crime. There are pockets in Fraser where the annual income is less than $8,000.
Our friend Pastor Ricky Floyd is committed to Fraser's revival, but it's not a one-man job.
The pastors will say it's the politicians' fault. The politicians will say it's the proprietor's fault. The proprietors will say it's the parents' fault. The parents will say it's the policeman's fault. The policeman will say it's the principal's fault. So what happened is, we don't form an environment where there's trust, where there's unity, because everybody is pointing the finger at the next person saying you're the problem, when in reality, we all are the answer together.
We need to think of a P word for cooperation and partnership, because I know as a black pastor, you got your alliteration hat on.
Right.
See, Rick's from East Tennessee. He doesn't know.
I can come up with a good P word.
Hey, you can.
He doesn't know the black Memphis pastor thing.
Well, I'm going to take him under my wing.
Thank you.
He actually does know the black pastor thing, because last time we saw you was at our wedding.
He had a black pastor to do his wedding. So he's official.
He is official.
Not many East
He's
Tennessee
one of our
guys have had a black pastor
And I
from
just want you to
Memphis,
know-
Tennessee to do their wedding.
That was my favorite wedding.
That's why this one.
I
I was gonna say, well, it better have been, but that's why this one will stick,
Right. This.
because it's been anointed.
Hey, the definition of insanity, you had to try something different. So you,
It's like, those other two just didn't work. They weren't speaking to the real God, I don't believe.
Listen,
That's
I've got
exactly
the answer to a long marriage. Get a black pastor.
All right, let's go.
So far, it's working out okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay, all I was going to say is we're on our way back to the 901, everybody. So
901, here we come.
I've got 5 hours of that.
Our first year of marriage has been a year of travel, if you can count the 400 Tennessee miles of Interstate 40. It's been a year of adventure,
Hey, honey, I just got to the house. I think you need to call the police.
laughter, a little romance, tears,
It changed my life.
and plenty of financial stress.
You know, just the $43,000 for plumbing was a shocker. I mean, that was major sticker shock.
And you know what? We wouldn't change a thing.
If you work it the way we propose, you have an opportunity to be successful. I cannot guarantee you anything but a chance.
The Driftwood House is owned by Lifeline to Success, a nonprofit program with a long track record of helping people build positive lives after prison. Dawn Kennard's family donated it.
So, as I remember, this was your dad's house?
Well, he and my mom bought it back in 2007 as an investment property. And we kept it rented, and then he passed in 2016. And it had been vacant for a while, and my sister and I were trying to keep it up, and it was just more than we could do. And so we love the Browns so much, we wanted to donate it so that it would be used for our community.
That's awesome. So you don't want to sell it to an investment company from out of town like so many others?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. Go into why that's not good for the neighborhood.
Well, when you have out-of-town investors, they're not really vested in the community, so it could stay vacant a while, and then they tend to go, get delinquent in taxes. They're not maintained because the owner's not here.
Yeah.
We just wanted to either sell it to someone that would be here locally, but then when the Browns, I just keep coming back to them. They've just been a part of my heart for so long that I just thought it would be a great thing for us to be able to donate the house for them to use.
Lifeline is a family. We are just a family. We bring in people that are lost, that need that extra attention. We're going to hug you if you don't like hugs. We're going to kiss you if you don't like kisses. We're going to sit there and talk about stuff, and we're not going to let you go until you get it off your chest, because this is a safe space. What happens in this house is you're going to hear laughter. You're going to see a bunch of guys watching movies together. They've got to learn how to cook. Well, they got to learn how to cook first, but they'll be cooking together. The transitional house gives them a way to know, one, I have a safe, beautiful place to live, so that's possible for me. Secondly, I have men and women that will support me. Next, as we go 6 to 7 months down the line and they're working for us, then they pay a small amount of rent. Now I have responsibility. Whatever we have to do to make sure people can see that they're human, they did their time. They deserve what everyone else can get.
They talk about the 15 people that were fighting for Fraser to turn it around.
Vanessa and her husband DeAndre founded Lifeline in 2009. He has lived the journey Lifeline helps others through.
And in the article, it was an educator, it was a community leader, but you know what they called me in the newspaper? The ex-offender. And every time they read my bio, that part still stings. But it never goes away.
Shelby County leaders took note of their work, and in 2020, commissioners named DeAndre director of the county's Office of Reentry. His philosophy is simple.
You can either help me give them the tools necessary to become positive, productive citizens, or they can break in your house.
Brown may be the highest-ranking former felon working for Shelby County, but he is far from the only one. His boss recently celebrated more than 100 employees hired just since Shelby County passed a Ban the Box initiative in 2020. Job applicants are no longer asked about previous convictions.
I want you to take a minute and imagine the worst moment of your life so far. The most shameful, the most embarrassing, maybe illegal. Now imagine that every job interview you have, they bring that up and you're judged on it. That's a hard thing to overcome. And in Shelby County, we believe in second chances. We believe in redemption. We believe if you've served your time and you want to work, that you should be given a chance to work.
And now Shelby County is going a step further. A brand new program sets aside some jobs specifically for people with records. The jobs are listed at worktobreakthecycle.com.
You go to that website, you'll see our specially curated jobs where we would prefer to hire someone with a criminal history.
It's almost like a resume builder.
Exactly, exactly.
What do you say to detractors? You say, whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, I say if you're going to do something about the crime problem, right, this is the way you do something about it, because if folks can't come home free from stigma and root in their community and have opportunity to work and take care of their families, then they may end up in this vicious cycle again.
His counterpart in City Hall agrees.
Is everything perfect every day in your life? No.
The city of Memphis also hires formerly incarcerated people, often graduates of its own reentry programs.
We want to take them from not being able to have a job to not having their driver's license, get all that tidied up, and get them a career. And not just a job, but a career that they can get health care and a retirement system. They're hungry for the work, and they're going to work hard.
But getting a job is actually not the biggest hurdle people face after leaving jail.
How do you get back on your feet if you come out of prison without a dollar to your name and without a place to stay because you may have been alienated or separated from your family for a variety of reasons? So that's actually the number one thing. I mean, jobs is way up there, but the housing piece, based on what we can tell, is actually the number one thing, that if you can get that stabilized as fast as possible as people exit the criminal justice system, that makes the biggest impact.
Over the last 3 years, Tennessee has released an average of 11,000 people every year. No one could tell us exactly how many come home to Shelby County, but the Department of Corrections does list its transition homes. There's just over 300 available beds in transitional housing. For us, it's as much about quality as quantity.
I am a firm believer that your mindset is impacted by your surroundings. So that's why this has to be a dignified space where they don't feel like it's secondhand.
But it's also for the neighborhood. I want the neighborhood to be proud and go, you know how you hear, okay, you're going to have a halfway house or a transition house neighborhood. I want them to go, yeah, but look what we got. If someone is coming out of prison and staying at a place, and he's in a place that's falling down, it's like, boy, I'm not moving up. So if he's staying in a place that is real nice, he's going to change his attitude. Also, you might cut this, but it's kind of like if you go to the bar, these guys going out, I don't go to bars, but people going to bars picking up women.
You've heard.
Yeah, I mean, if you're picking up
Have you ever been in a bar?
No, but if you pick up a good-looking woman, you're proud of yourself.
Ultimately, it's a question of empathy, trying to put ourselves in someone else's shoes.
So you think about a man who makes a mistake, does his time, and he come home now and he convicted felon. Can't give him a job, but the guy down the street will front him 5 pounds a week to get him back on his feet. What's about opportunity?
Gotta feed your family.
Not even about feeding your family. Law number 1 is self-preservation. That law was put in us by birth. What's the first thing a baby does when he's hungry? He cries.
So what you're saying is anybody put in that situation
would do it.
You can judge that guy for making that
because
decision.
You're not in that situation.
The more we can provide an off-ramp for people who have been released from prison, housing, job assistance, counseling, giving them the practical alternative to life on the street. Not only are they going to be better off, but we're all going to be better off.
Right.
When individuals come out, serve their time, and want to give back as citizens, law-abiding citizens, and get jobs, the first thing they're going to ask is, where do you stay? Where do you live? A lot of situations where you see people on the streets living, but guess what? In Tennessee, it's against the law. They can end up right back where they started from. And so we need to, interrupt that cycle.
We really don't know if more transitional housing will help turn stuff around. But what I do know, if any city has the heart to do it, it's Memphis for sure.
I'd never been in Memphis. I was genuinely impressed when I got down here and saw how open everyone in Memphis was, how they've treated me, how they're able to forgive people that's done things.
I think Memphis has a lot of heart. And I remember when I first moved here, one of the first stories I was on, so I walked in and there's this barren courtyard and there was a little baby sitting there and scratching in the dirt with a stick, and there were no adults around. And this child couldn't have been more than a year. And I remember thinking in that moment, that child has no chance. Because where we grew up, there was a lot of poverty, but it's rural, which is much different from seeing that embedded generational poverty in an urban setting. I think I know now why that memory stayed with me all these years, because that is so emblematic of so much of Memphis and so many large cities in America. And I just think that Memphis has something special. It feels like every day people get up and try to do something to improve it. And I'm sure it feels like bailing the ocean out with a teaspoon, but
down here, it's everybody's in this together.
You're telling it from the perspective of who we really are. We talk about Memphis being grit and grind. We talk about Memphis being, benevolent, and we are, because you've seen all the stories that have led up to this.
If that child that you saw, parent was incarcerated or at work on the third shift or out having their own issues that they're dealing with, their own traumas, where are the additional supports for their child? Who's stepping in to help those who may not be able to help themselves? How are we factoring in support in every realm, government, nonprofit, church, community, to really look after each other?
Over the next few weeks, we invite you on a journey that's both hopeful and heartbreaking.
It never goes away.
Sorry.
Wait a minute, would you put the hat on and say that? That would make it official.
Is it straight?
No.
Josh, I love the hat.
I want him to hate it.
There's frustration and pain.
So that was a big thing for me.
Yes.
So, sorry, I got.
It's been a lot of years, but it's
even
still,
even so, after all these years, it still hurts. Huh?
Oh yeah, whenever the thing of hurting someone else is what got me.
There's laughter and love.
I met this man when he was 13. He was a very short boy. Took him 50 years to marry me.
50 years to the day we met.
He doesn't know what he missed, right?
There's a surprise for a Memphis celebrity that you will not want to miss.
Yeah, when were you there?
And you'll find out how a guy named Tiny gave us a gigantic blessing without even realizing it. You'll meet people you might want to fear and end up wishing you could give them a hug. Like Antonio, the artist.
I'm not used to people wanting to hear me.
Eric, who's back in the streets after spending most of his 20s in and out of jail. This time, he's there on a rescue mission.
From my perspective, when I was in the streets, I did a lot of bad things. And I could have been dead a lot of times, but God was with me, though. I'm still here, but now I'm trying to help people the right way.
Melvin, turning his crime and his extreme athletic talent into a way out for kids growing up like he did.
I wrote down everywhere where I felt like my life went wrong. And I said I was gonna fix the holes in other kids' lives because I felt like we had the same holes. Love and support.
Joe, who chooses joy over sadness despite a childhood that gives him every excuse to be angry at the world.
I wake up like this. You hear me? I'm so happy and just rejoiced to be able to say, you know what? I made it out of something a lot of people hadn't. You hear me?
And Sherwood, with an astonishing story of forgiveness.
I didn't want to say I did something when I didn't do it just to save my life. And I felt that I was going to be free. I knew I was going to go home.
And you'll get some renovation tips for the real world.
It took me about 30 minutes to do this, and the cost was about 1/3 to 1/4 of what you would do if you went and bought a manufactured post, and they're basically doing the same thing.
Because this flip show has no $1 million budget, just a house that's sat empty for years, which means 1 million things to rebuild.
We've got about 6 months worth of work just in the yard.
Local contractors Antonio and Ted join us, along with Antonio's wife, LaTanya. She teaches mindfulness, so we want her thoughts on creating a space to promote that among men who are fresh out of jail's toxic environment.
Make this the main entrance, which means this tree comes out. We could either do a deck across there or pour concrete where you step up and have it all the way down through there with an open gable roof. Would that work if you came walking in and have an area
Yeah,
walking?
that would be a natural, nice retreat. And you think about mindfulness and the peacefulness of
Out
the
on the
flow.
porch.
Yes.
This, I guess, was the living room at one time. It's got another beautiful fireplace.
Well,
we're
I've got an
taking the
idea.
other-
What if we take and close those doors off? Come down through here, okay? Remove the fireplace, build a wall down this way, you've got a hallway. You've got another bedroom here that we didn't even know existed.
That's a good idea.
Man, that would give them 5 returning citizens, and
That's
then
5.
we have the 6th room for the manager.
If it was me, each guy can set up. You got a bed, a little space to themselves. They're singles. Each guy's got their own room. They had enough of that shared room when they were in prison. They don't want them. Yeah. You don't get to determine your buddies, and you know.
My question is that will the gentlemen, would they be sharing a bathroom or would they have their own bathroom?
Yeah, I don't think, we definitely don't have room for 6.
Yeah. Or would you also consider having like a half bath off the kitchen or something?
Like
where
maybe
you wash your
over where the-
hands and stuff
Right.
like that? Because the kitchen is huge.
So we need washer and dryer.
Now, would you want a separate laundry room versus having it all in the kitchen?
Well, ideally, but where?
With you having people staying here, you want to keep, because I'm thinking of, COVID, health reasons and stuff, you want to keep your washing your clothes, ironing and all that kind of stuff separate from your serving and food.
And I like that.
People coming together and eating. Because if you have people coming down here and they're sitting here eating, then somebody choose to come and wash clothes.
So you don't want to see dirty drawers while you're. Yeah, I got you.
So what we want to do is we want to bring these gentlemen's standards up.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
We want to bring them in this home, give them a sense of ownership and dignity.
There you go.
Okay. So if it was me, I wouldn't want a washing machine and dryer next to my bedroom.
I agree. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
I have an idea.
Solitude. Yes.
This is this bathroom I was telling y'all about. Number one, it steps down because this was clearly outside before. And then we've got this area back in here. Yeah, we go back up into, don't be afraid. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
So it's such a big space that, could we do a laundry room and a bathroom? Because the one reason why I think there does need to be a bathroom here is because next to it is sort of a separate bedroom for a house manager.
Yeah, you know what? We seal this door here off. We can bring this straight across level.
We're back to the kitchen. Can we open this wall up completely so that this is more of one big space?
Here. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Maybe that's where they eat.
I was thinking several tables. And
Several
not just one, because this is a lot of space.
So you're thinking smaller tables?
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel institutional though? To me, that feels
As
institutional.
long as they're
as
not
opposed
plastic
to-
chairs. I understand what you're saying, but institutionalized is steel.
Yeah.
And institutionalized is usually rectangle.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can provide them more of a retreat-like setting.
Cafe type setting?
Yeah. Yeah. That it will bring a more sociable surrounding to it.
Cool. All right. So, we got a lot of work.
Before we begin demolition, though, Tennessee Valley Authority's energy experts want to grade the house for energy efficiency. Given the broken windows, we do expect to fail.
I am a home energy advisor. I change the way people use energy by applying building science to bring down power bills and make homes more comfortable. What we're going to do today is measure the air leakage of this house. Because it's building science, we take measurements before and after we do improvements. So what this is going to do, it's going to pull air out of the house, and it's going to let me know how much air is able to leak in through all the various holes and cracks in the house. And that gives us a number to work with so that we can try and reduce that, which will enable the house to hold its temperatures longer and reduce the energy needs of the home. You're 16,000.
Oh, 16,000. Oh, Lord.
Wow.
So, a little high. A lot of air sealing that can be done in this home.
When we think about energy efficiency, we think about the house as a system. So you've got air leakage, the envelope, the occupants, the mechanical systems, they're all interconnected. And this gives us a baseline to be able to work off of.
Okay,
So
cool.
as we're thinking about how do we move forward, we've got to take into consideration how we address the tightness of the house, how do we insulate the house properly, which mechanical systems we're going to be able to put in to be able to help control moisture and also comfort for the occupant. Air sealing is actually a very important component of reducing moisture. The majority of the moisture that comes in through a house is through holes around the envelope. Once we expose everything, you guys are going to have a really good opportunity to be able to address it properly.
Okay.
A lot of retrofit perspectives don't have the ability to be able to do a really deep energy retrofit with air sealing. So when you guys get everything exposed,
No, I'm
We'll
not
be doing
exposing
that.
myself. I just
Don't-
wanted
yeah. When you expose the walls.
Oh, I was confused.
One thing we all learn about Rick is we never really know what's going to come out of this mouth. I have a question, and this may not have anything to do with the test that we just did, but see that fireplace over there?
Yeah.
We'd like to take that out. It also has a
We're gonna take all
chimney
of it out.
attached. Is that a problem, an
No.
advantage?
It'd be an advantage.
it
So
will.
the majority of houses with wood burning fireplaces like this, you've got 3 fireplaces. These 2 I think are gas and
Yeah.
they're connected with the flue. When we think about energy savings and energy efficiency, one of the big losses is a wood burning fireplace.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Even when you're heating your house,
you're losing.
You're losing.
Yeah,
Correct.
I've known
Yep.
that for years.
Yep.
So if we take those two out, that will be a plus.
That'll be a plus. Correct.
Yeah.
One?
No, we're keeping that one. Yeah.
It's your call. I'm not, your house, not me.
Antonio wants that.
I would definitely make sure that you have a good damper on it. Like this one doesn't have a damper on it, I don't
Oh,
believe.
it doesn't at all?
Doesn't have a
Oh.
damper, so definitely want to be
Got
able
it.
to make sure you have a damper on that one.
So Brian's number won't be 16,000 when we're done.
Well, we hope.
Hope not.
We'll make sure it's not.
Would you like to know if your house is costing you money? It's easy to get a free energy assessment in about 30 minutes. All you do is go to energyright.com.
There's a do-it-yourself online audit. You can do it from your laptop or your phone. Once you're done with that, it's going to give you a report that will tell you the things that you need to do to your home to make it more energy efficient, especially the things that are the most bang for the buck.
You'll find lots of energy-saving tips, rebates, even tax incentives at energyright.com, but here are a few things to start you thinking. You should install a filter whistle to remind you to change your system's filter monthly. Check your ductwork for leaks and seal even small ones. Wrap your water heater with insulation or an insulated blanket. And connect your electronics to a power strip rather than to an outlet. This protects them from surges like we all know, but it also saves you money because you can turn off the master switch whenever you leave the house.
Hello?
Hey, good morning. How are you guys?
Great, how about yourself?
We are great,
Good.
but we have to lay the hammer down on y'all.
Uh-oh. What's the hammer?
The hammer is we're starting demolition today, and you cannot, for the foreseeable future, go near Driftwood, okay?
Repeat, do not go.
It's really killing me. And especially when you hear, oh, guess what we did? And then you have no reaction after that. Oh yeah, y'all are killing me. You know what? It's almost like, it sounds crazy, pregnancy. You have to wait to the end to see the baby. So I'm waiting for the birth.
Well, and it's been like an elephant pregnancy.
Oh yeah,
This one.
elephant pregnancy.
Coming up on Flip My Life, what brings a treasure hunter to the Flip My Life house?
You said it was lost in 2020. It could be maybe a little bit in the ground.
And
that just breaks my heart.
Unexpected heartbreak at an event designed for fun.
Over the course of talking to so many people for this show, I realized that it's only through the grace of God that I was born into a family with a dad like you guys.
Plus, after a lifetime apart, what will it be like for father and son to live under one
No,
roof?
you can't have a key to our door, though. I ain't gonna come in. Why
You know, if I ever had a
Oh, no,
chance,
you ain't have no key to the door,
if I ever had a chance to go in and check out my dad's stuff and bust them, oh man, you're in trouble. You're in
though.
trouble.
He talking about he gonna.
You're in trouble.
He gonna.
You're in trouble.
He know how to open the
I'm
lock.
gonna tell you what I'll do. Just because you and I are buddies. Hang on. Cook me some soul food. I have a talk with you. Don't leave you alone.
Don't miss the next episode of Flip My Life, sponsored in part by the Tennessee Valley Authority.